Hey everyone, today we are going to make a Ned Rig hook, the weighted part. So we are actually going to make the mold for casting our own lead weight for and making a Ned Rig, or the mushroom head. So to start with, we're going to need a scrap piece of wood. I'm going to use a size number 1 on this hook. So we'll take one of these guys, see if it actually focuses. We're going to take a jig hook and make a wooden cast of it. Then we're going to mold the wooden cast. And then we can take the wooden cast mold and lead cast it. And then we can lead cast quite a few of these without spending a ton of money on it. Alright, so like I said, we're going to use a scrap piece of wood. I've drawn the thickness, and the notches are where I'm going to cut them out. And these are just going to start off as little squares, and then I'll work them to round and then mushroom head. Alright, I am actually going to use my knife to trim these down. That's right there. Round it over. Okay. Not a perfect job, but we'll get it cleaned up. Alright, so now I'm going to put the groove in it so I can put the hook in. And I'm going to use that using a bird bit. See if that's deep enough. Okay, looks like I need to go a little deeper. That looks right. Okay. Alright, so we got the notches cut in all 4 of them. Now we're going to take it and round off the front before we glue the hook on. I want to get the front nice and rounded because that's going to be hard to get to once I have the hook in it. So forgive me, I'm right-handed. It's going to be hard for you to see anything. Okay. I'm going to call that one good for the 400. We'll just keep doing this for the rest of them. Alright, so now we're going to attach the hooks with super glue. See if I can get it where you can see that. Just need a drop in there. And take the hook. Put it in there. We're going to hold it for a second. Let it start sitting up. Alright, that one's fine. Alright, so the super glue on the hooks is dry now. And now we're going to fill in that gap. See if we can get some light on it. a little bit of gap there. We're going to use some baking soda to do it and super glue. Got some baking soda. Clean it up. I need just a hair. I don't know if I want to use that. Okay. Clamp it in there. And what we use is some thin super glue. Well, you can still get the glue out of this. We got it clamped. And then they just drop it on. Like that. And it'll work its way in there and it'll set pretty quickly. Alright, so now we got the baking soda and super glue dry. We're going to round off the head and smooth it out. Just throw it back. That'd be rough. Yeah, miss. Alright, so now that we've got all 4 of them completed, we're going to dip them in sanding sealer. I'm just going to hang them up. I'm just gonna let it dry. Alright, so now we've got the sanding sealer done, or first coat dry. Now we're gonna resand it and recoat it again. Alright, so I've got them sealed, and now I need to make a mold for it. So I have a board that I kind of make stuff on because it's nice and smooth, and I've got my piece of modeling clay. Well, this is just soft moldable clay, it doesn't harden, but I'm going to make a base. I'm going to sink half of the lures in. We want this nice and flat. Okay. Like I said, we're going to put our lures in, our hook lengths halfway in this. It doesn't need to be a gigantic mold. These do need to be sunken in down just about half of the hook shank. I'm a little short. Alright. Sorry we did that real quick. But you want the heads to have some space in between. Otherwise they'll break and you don't want that. So I got them all facing the same direction. I'll make the slots that come down to them. I'll put those in afterwards and I'll actually just drill those in. The other thing I'm going to do is I'll probably put little worm catches on these, or on at least 2 of these. The other 2 I'll probably keep for using like Z-Mans and Elastic lures. But here it is now. So now we got to build the sidewalls. I already measured them out. You can see kind of where I wanted it boxed in at. But I'll have to cut some cardboard and put it in, and we'll go from there. Alright, as you can see, I've got the box put together. It's just taped together, and like I said, I've got those heads in there, those blink heads, about halfway in. You want to get everything kind of right where you want it to, because as soon as you pour the compound in, it's gonna not be usable anymore. Now, the one last thing we need to do before we mix up our mold material is we need to put a mold release in, and this is just vegetable oil that I'm gonna paint in here. Wow, that's really stiff. We're gonna paint everything in here with vegetable oil. Try not to get it super thick because it does change of what it looks like. We definitely want that in there. Alright. Alright, for this next part I have to have everything ready because we're going to be using Bondo to make the mold. A little bit of hardener here. I mix it up by color. Just kind of until it turns a pink color. We also got some sticks here. So we're gonna mix it with this. Mix is the best and quickest. I'll mix it on a cutting board. I usually coat it in wax paper. I'm gonna try it without this time. I think I can just cut it off once I'm done, or scrape it off, I mean. But I also have my heat gun ready. This will help get rid of some of the bubbles. Not too terribly much, but it'll help a little bit. But gotta work quick and gotta make sure I get it up over the jig heads here. I need a little bit of thickness because the heat will mess with the mold, so the more mold I have, the better. But here we go. So I'm gonna try to figure out kind of how much I need. Just eyeball it. I don't have to worry yet at this part. This is not the fast part. Try to get some of the stuff down off the sides. Doesn't take very much, And for the most part, Bondo's not too terribly expensive. Okay, the hardener's going down. I just put a line of hardener down. And now we have to do everything quickly. So I'll start mixing it in as soon as I get some stuff off the side. It always seems to get on me when it's on the side like that. I want to try to mix it up without getting air in it. So here we go. And now I'm on a time limit. Make sure you scrape the tool off. I want that to be nice and uniform. Still get some gray. Probably my scraper here. Okay, that's mixed in. Looks pretty good. Just a little bit more here. I believe that's taking green off the cutting board. That's funny. Okay, now I'm going to put it in there. Alright, I am going to use my sticks to kind of force it in there. Other thing you can do is take a hammer and then tap it. You see how it kind of liquefies it? Alright, so it's been about 15 minutes. This is still putting off quite a bit of heat, so it's still curing, but you can at least see what it did. See, there's a few little flaws in there. They should go away when I do the next one. Like I said, you can see kind of where the oil was. I put it on a little heavier than I should have. But, so now what we're going to do, we're going to move the sides up. Move these hooks down as well. And then we're going to pour the next side. And the next side will go right on top of this. We'll do the same thing. I'm going to wipe this kind of up and put a little bit more oil on here, a little less than what I had on before. But we're going to clean up this side too. And then we'll pour it. And then that'll be done and ready for us to cut some channels in to pour the lead in. Alright, so I've gotten it demolded. Taking the hooks out. That's what it looks like. Kind of has its spot that it likes to go together at. Maybe. There we go. Together right there. But you can see that doesn't quite line up at the top like I'd like it to, so I'm going to cut it flush because that's where we're going to drill in. Checking it. Alright. Now you can see that lines up real nice. Still have plenty of room to finish the mold. Alright, so we got the mold cut. Now we need to figure out where we're going to drill in the spouts basically. Okay, just like that. Notches at the top so you can see them. So when I put this together, I can see what I'm doing here. You see there's notches, that's where I'm going to drill. Alright, I've got it clamped down. I've also taped off my bit kind of where I want to stop. And this is a 1/2 inch, and I'm just going to drill in. Got them all drilled. So now they have little reservoirs over the top. I got plenty of room to add the whole band to them. Now it looks like I got these pretty well half in the middle, just going by, so I can drill basically right where that hole is right there, or that divot. Now we're going to put the small holes in. Yeah, really right in your face. Okay. Alright, so now we got the holes going down to it, so the lid can drip in. So technically that mold is, can't even see that, technically that mold is done. Alright, I've got the jig heads, or the jig hooks, put into the mold. It's a good idea to heat up the mold before you pour it. There we go. That just sits on top. So I'm going to heat it up, and I've got the lid melting now. Yeah. Alright, this one looks like it's good though. Yeah. Alright, just cut off the excess. I can clean it up. It's got a little bit of hole, but should be good. That one's perfect. Needs a little cleaned up. Alright, so there's the completed mold. And some of the hooks. This one especially turned out really well. Not all of them turned out super well. You can see this one has an air pocket at the top. And another good one. This is my second mushroom head mold that I've tried to make. The first one I've got here. And I tried to pour everything around the weed guard and the hook hanger here. You can see that guy right there. And it just didn't work very well. And it kind of deformed the head and everything. So what I did with this one is I made sure I got a nice good mold. And this one was made out of clay actually. The clay deforms a little bit. It's not as good as making a wood blank, but these came out really good. In a video coming up, I will show you how to add. I will show you how to add this weed guard in, and how to add this guy, the hook hanger, in after we've made the lead weights or the jig heads. And I'll also show you painting them, and these we will end up epoxy coating, and it seems to get much more life out of the paint on the jig if we epoxy coat it. So stay tuned for that video, but this ends this video, and that is how you make a jig head mold. Bondo works really good. It holds up to the heat. You can also use plaster of Paris. I've used that too. It doesn't hold up as well. You'll have to replace it after 10 or so molds. But it is a cheap, easy alternative. It's really easy to work with. You get a little bit of air voids and it won't be as smooth as the Bondo, but you still get a pretty good product out of the plaster of Paris.